Hi everyone, Maruska here. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're taking on a 57-kilometer race with plenty of elevation. As always, we start with 40 minutes of free mode warm-up. This is the moment when the legs get ready for the effort. This care helps prevent injuries, especially strains. If the muscle isn't ready to be tested right at the start of the race, it can cause problems. And here we go, starting off strong in a way. But this time we don't want to give it all right away. It's 57 kilometers and more than an hour and a half of pedaling. If we push too hard at the beginning, we'll be left behind. My plan for this race is to stay in zone 3 only. That way, I'll produce less lactic acid and ensure I reach the end. I've already lost the front group. And here come a few more cyclists passing me. It's always a delicate moment, because the instinct is to push harder to avoid riding alone. But the strategy remains clear. Stay steady and in zone 3 pace without giving in to pressure. If I try to keep up now, I'll burn energy that I'll need later. A cyclist gets close again, and I tried to use the chat system to suggest we work together. The idea was clear. If we join forces, we might catch the front group. That would give us a real chance to fight for better positions. But he doesn't seem to care. He keeps his own pace, doesn't reply, doesn't show interest in cooperating. It's frustrating because in races like this, collaboration can be decisive. Alone, the effort is greater, and every pedal stroke feels heavier. Now yes, we've reached our newest friend, who we'll ride with until the end of the race. I try again to communicate via chat with Nicholas, our Portuguese rider. This time, even though he doesn't reply directly, he seems more interested in working together. And that completely changes the race dynamics. With partnership, we can split the effort, alternate pace, and maintain consistency. Each time one pulls, the other rests a bit, and we move forward stronger. Even without words, the language of the pedal shows we're aligned. From here on, the race stops being lonely and becomes a shared battle. How would we stay here for another hour and a half? Having someone to distract and help makes all the difference. With all this teamwork, I now notice we're closing the gap to another cyclist. And this time, it's a Brazilian. No one interrupts. This proves that teamwork often counts more than trying to pedal alone. Each rotation, each moment when one holds the pace for the other to rest, makes a difference. Little by little, we shorten the distance, showing that consistency and collaboration can beat brute force. It's a motivating feeling to realize the strategy is working and that together we reach someone who seemed far away. And we reach our friend Ezekiel, quickly making contact again for the third time. And this time it works. I send the signal to work as a team. Yes, and he replies with a thumbs up. Now we're 3 in the group, which makes us even stronger. With 3 cyclists, we can push harder when needed, and then have more time to recover. The rotation becomes more efficient, and the feeling of being in an organized peloton is motivating. Each time one takes the lead, the other to recover, and we move forward stronger and more consistent. This partnership completely transforms the race dynamics, making time pass much faster. Then comes the big moment. The Portuguese rider uses the communication system to say he's getting tired and losing strength. I hope he doesn't leave us too, because the partnership so far has been essential. Unfortunately, right after that, we lose Ezekiel. Maybe due to connection issues, or he simply quit the race. It's always a blow when someone drops out, because the group loses strength and the rotation gets heavier again. But the Portuguese rider and I keep going strong. We maintain the pace, trusting the strategy and the partnership that has already proven solid. I notice the Portuguese rider is falling far behind, so I change the camera view to see if he's quitting or coming back to draft. This is always a moment of uncertainty, because losing a partner means facing the last 14 kilometers alone. At least he doesn't seem to be falling further behind, so it looks like we still have a race companion. Even tired, he's still there, holding on. And that gives me relief knowing I won't be racing alone for another 30 minutes. And finally he catches up, and we return to the slingshot process, using each other's draft to push forward. And now, with only 1 kilometer to go, I take my last sip of water and pick up the pace. My friend brought me this far, and I brought him. But now it's every rider for themselves. I increase the bike's load and push above 300 watts to see if the Portuguese rider will follow. But since he was already showing signs of fatigue, he simply lets me go. And now it's just a straight line to the finish. That's it for today, folks. If you enjoyed the ride, leave your like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us out. And tell me, what's the longest distance you've ever pedaled? What was your strategy to overcome that distance? Thanks, everyone. Thanks to those who made it this far. See you next time.